afternoon. Today I'm going to keep reading from this magnificent book of Paramahansa Yogananda. Hola Rosy. Hello Peggy. Aida. Hola Aida, ¿cómo te va? Because everybody likes it and I love to read that book. It's about deep healing. Everybody likes it and I love to. There is a, can you tell me in Facebook if you hear that noise in the microphone? Ooh. Is there this ugly noise that you can hear? And please share. There is a very noise. Let me see. Ugly noise. I'm going to check what is going on here. I have the microphone, yes. Can you hear that noise, Rosie? Hilda, ¿cómo te va? Aida, can you hear the very ugly noise? Let me see. I'm going to go to my Facebook. Just bear with me for a second. What is going on here? Okay, I have the microphone, yes. Okay, we have to live with that. I really don't know what is going on. I don't want to disconnect the microphone. If I do, what could it be? I don't see any source. Okay, let's move it. Ok, se oye bien. Perfecto. Hola Lalo López. I think you're Lalo. There are so many Lopez, I don't know who is who. Today, I'm not drinking my chocolate smoothie because if I do, I won't be able to sleep. We were reading this book, Healing the Sick, and I don't remember where did we stop the other day. Okay, this is very interesting. I will start here. This is an interpretation of the life of Jesus by Paramahansa Yogananda, who is a God-realized spiritual teacher. My little brother, wow, I lost track, yes. All right, thank you, Irma. Gracias, Lorena. Lorena, tienes que decirle a tu hija que participe. No tiene necesidad de escuchar esto, pero a las 7:05 empezamos la sesión, tienes que decirles que participe. La sanación no funciona sino más como ir al médico, que es lo que creen, le da unas pastillas y uno se sana. No, uno tiene que participar activamente. He is my nephew. All right. Irmita, brother. Hola Lalo, ¿cómo te va? Okay. For Irma, for Rosie, for all of Chela, the Reiki healers. Jesus commanded his will to connect the cosmic energy with the energy in his brain and send it down through the hands in ever-flowing potent rays to the body of afflicted person. What does it say here? That we need to connect this, we must have this beautiful connection with God, which is the source of all energy. To be able to do what Jesus was doing, healing to connecting through the brain and sending down that energy down our hands. Healing by sending energy through the hands. He laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. It's based on the healer's ability to connect with and consciously direct the cosmic energy of God. Ha! That's what I said. The body lives in an omnipresent sea. The body lives in an omnipresent sea of this vibratory power. This is why when we do distance healing, when Rosie does distant healing, the energy is there. It's there always with us, without our intention and your intention to connect with the group and with the healer. Our work is to connect with the energy from God, and your work is to connect with us and the group. But we need your blessings. Paramahansa Yogananda says, in the spiritual path, 25% is your effort. 25% the blessings of the Guru, of the Master. Remember that Guru means the spiritual master who takes you from the darkness to the light. And 50% are the blessing of God. In healing is the same. 25% is your work by participating in this group healing. 25% my work facilitating. I'm not using my energy, that's the beauty. Rosie, do we use our energy? So, and 50% is the grace of God. You need to realize that. However, if our 25% is not present, the healing is not going to happen. This energy sustains life and recharges the vitality of the body as it becomes depleted by physical and mental activity. When we work, when we do healing sometimes, when we don't sleep well, or just because during the day we use our energy, the life of the body depends primarily upon the cosmic energy that flows in automatically through the mouth of the medulla. This is called the mouth of God. We receive the energy that sustains our body through the medulla oblongata, the soft part below the skull, or is consciously drawn in by the tuning power of the human will. The energy delivered directly from the cosmic ether and energy derived indirectly from the food and oxygen becomes concentrated in the main cerebral dynamo of power in the head. Hence, it is poured into the entire body through the 6 sub-dynamos of the subtle center of the spine. So, every chakra, today I am reading from this book, an amazing book, The Second Coming of Christ, which is an interpretation of the life of Jesus, reading the chapter Healing the Sick. So, the energy that enters through the medulla oblongata, through the brain, goes to the chakras, and every chakra sustains or provides energy to the organs around. If we have energy blockages in the heart chakra, the organs around will be weak. Our lungs, our heart, the thymus, and so on. If we have energy blockages on the second chakra, we may have digestive problems and others, and so on. So we need to have the chakras clean, and that's the work that we do with energy healing. The supreme center in the brain and the 6th center in the cerebrospinal axis send energy through the nerves to all the vital and sensory and motor parts of the body. So, from each body part, as the eyes, hands, feet, heart, navel, nose, mouth, and every projection from the body, there emanates current. Now, in another part that I read last Tuesday, we have an energy body for each physical, an energy organ for each physical organ that we have. We have an energy heart, an energy mouth, throat, arms, and legs. So this energy is transferred to our energy body and then to our physical body. The nerve current radiating from the eyes, hands, and feet is stronger than from other parts. This is why we use our hands, and our eyes are so powerful. In the same way that you may be looking at a person who has a lot of dark energy and you cannot sustain the eyesight because you are receiving the toxic energy, when you are looking at a person with a clean energy body, it's pleasant to be with that person. The right side of the body is a positive pole and the left is a negative pole. The positive right side is stronger than the negative left. Through the power of these poles can sometimes be transposed in the physical sense, as is indicated in cases of left-handed people. The conformation of the psychology in the astral body remains the same. The power of the life force transmitted outwardly for healing others is proportionate to the power of the will of the healer. Masters such as Jesus, who have infinite control of their will, can radiate the all-creative healing rays of life through any organ, but especially through the hands, feet, or eyes. In Reiki 2, we teach how to heal through the eyes. For Chela, for Irma, for Rosie, what I do is to, for example, when I do couples healing, when I am with one couple and one person and the other is in front of me on the other table, I just look at the person with intention to send energy through the eyes. This is why Mikao Usui, the founder of Reiki, taught. He used to send energy, healing through his hands, eyes, and navel. So distance healing through the eyes is very well known. We can do distance healing. Hola Judith, ¿cómo te va? Un abrazo grande. We can do distance healing looking at a person through a room. Or we go to a hospital and we make the intention to send the energy through the eyes, and the energy will be there. Look, Paramahansa Yogananda talked about this, I think in 1935 or something, this book. This book was published in this century after the year 2000. 2000, yes. However, it was written by Paramahansa Yogananda maybe in the 1940s. So he knew all this stuff. So this is nothing new here under the sun. Simply laying the positive and negative poles of one hand on another person produces same exchange of magnetism from the energy therein, but does not convey the potency necessary to heal. It is the consciously generated and directed power of the life force flowing through the hands that causes healing by employing the life force activity, which creates, integrates, disintegrates, crystallizes, metabolizes, and produces and sustains the complex body of differentiated cells. Well, for Irma, for Chela, don't worry about this. This willpower is developed with practice. The reason Reiki is so powerful is because we connect with God, which is the source of all energy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about source and other people that use other words that is very dangerous. Instead of calling God, call the source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Is the biggest mistake you can make, because you are going to connect with the universe, all right, and you are going to connect with anything. And I'm going to talk about that with a great healer maybe next Thursday, because it's a crucial subject. So Paramahansa Yogananda was telling that with the powerful will of the healer, Reiki has the feature that we connect with God and God does the work. So don't worry about that. When we advance in our practice, we use our will doing things, but don't worry about that. That comes on time. It's not for you, Rosie. Cheers. I am hungry. All right. Let's go back. This life force is intelligent, but diminished and out of one's control in bodies governed by weak, ego-identified minds. You see, this healing energy is intelligent and powerful, but if the mind of the healer is contaminated with fear, anxiety, espíritus chocarreros, They connect with spirits, dark spirits, because of ignorance. They call upon the universe, which is a source of trouble. We need to ask for God and only God. So the cleanliness of the healer is very important. And Rosie has a very interesting story that we need to talk about. One time, in one of my Reiki classes, he happened to have in the drawing to receive and practice Reiki with this particular person, and she told me I felt so sick. I'm so sorry about that. Because that person had a lot of evil entities or dark spirits, and he's a good man. But out of ignorance, people get those things. So to be a healer, we have the responsibility, Irma and Chela, that to keep our energy body clean. What does it mean? Free of fears, free of depression, anxiety, and all those toxic emotions, because we may transfer some of that to the client. How do we do that? Meditating every day. Irma, where you taught the Reiki meditations? I was talking to Rosie, I think, today. She is my only student who practice one of the techniques that is in the manual, the Reiki 1 manual. Chela, you have it, and I taught it when you were here, which is bringing the energy, breathing through the first chakra to the second and exhaling. Breathing in through the second chakra energy. Breathing energy, we visualize the energy is entering the second, going to the third, and breathing out. And Rosie said, when I do that, when I exhale that energy from my chakras, I chant Om. And the energy that I feel is great, is very powerful. Well, we have the tools, but we have to use it. Meditation is the only thing that will save this planet. All right, I keep reading, otherwise I go off the tangent. In persons who have identified themselves with their souls, the intelligent creative life force in its full potential is controlled by the wisdom of the soul. Listen to this. Did you hear, Rosie? In persons who have identified themselves with their souls, that we are in conscious connection with our soul through meditation. The intelligent creative life force in its full potential is controlled by the wisdom of the soul. What does it mean? When we are connecting with God, we are connected through our soul and not through our ego or other spirits or people controlling our life. This intelligent and powerful energy from God can manifest through us. And it's simple. We have to meditate and have a decent life, or more than decent life. One who knows his soul knows how to work miracles through the life force, the master of life and death, by sending it through the hands in healing rays to burn out disease in any stricken person. Did you hear that, Rosie? To burn out disease in any stricken person. The verses cited above, as well as the accounts of the Gospels, relate that Jesus used various outward means of transmitting the cosmic energy. Laying on hands, divinely charged words of healing. I heard that Paramahansa Yogananda says the magic wand of Jesus' words. Here is saying it again, that Jesus used to use divinely charged words of healing, transmission of energy by will through the ether, that's distance healing, powerful thoughts broadcast to the one in need, that's distance healing. Absent healing, that means distance healing, typically involves the principle of autosuggestion. A powerful thought accompanied by vibratory energy is sent by the healer's will to the person to be healed. Those response to that vibrations rouses his own latent imagination and will to release the healing life force within him. Well, we have specific ways to do that. I'm going to skip some things here. No. Instantaneous mental healing are caused by the healer and the person to be healed are perfectly when instantaneous mental healing are caused when the healer and the person to be healed are perfectly tuned to each other. What does it mean? For example, when I receive distance healing from my friends, great healer, my students, particular some of them, the energies are incredibly powerful. And I don't need them in presence to do hands-on healing in body and flesh with me. Distance healing is more than enough. Because we are tuned by knowing each other, by our friendship, by being connected spiritually. So this is why many people have faster healing than others. For example, Judith here. She's in, I believe, Nicaragua. And she healed from a very stubborn infection because she had that conviction that listening to these healing sessions, she will heal. And she did. The time element in healing arises when either the healer is deficient in his healing power or the person to be healed is not properly receptive to the healer's healing vibration because of his lack of faith, karmic restrictions, or persistence in bad habits of thought and action when negative vibrations counteract the positive healing vibration. Again, what I told you at the beginning, healing and spiritual evolution is 25% our work, our responsibility. If we don't have that 25%, or a spiritual teacher or the healer, 25% is not going to be effective, and let it alone the 50% responsibility of God. So we need to have our responsibility and do our homework. Participating here is great, however, it's not enough in the sense if we keep with our bad habits or negative thoughts, this is not going to work. The cosmic energy and its individualized expression of life force, the body, is finer than X-rays, and thus has the power to destroy not only physical germs, but mental bacteria of evil tendencies. You hear that, Rosie? Because the cosmic energy, this healing energy, and its individualized expression as a life force in the body, is finer than X-rays. That means it's finer than all the vibrations that we need in this physical world. And thus has the power to destroy not only physical germs, but mental bacteria, means deep energy blockages, spiritual toxic energies of evil tendencies. And the bacteria of delusion is a metaphor, the use of bacteria here. The bacteria of delusion, ignorance, that obfuscates, that covers the perfection of the soul. Jesus and the great servants, I don't know what does it mean, heal others in spite of their karma or bad mental habit patterns by sending the cosmic energy into the brain of the diseased patient, where all physical, mental, and spiritual ailments have their roots. The divine energy sent by a master unites with the partially inactive brain energy of the client, and their combinations burns away physical disease bacteria, or disease habits, or constraints of ignorance, all of which are logged in the consciousness, subconsciousness, and superconsciousness patterns in the brain. All right, I know that I read all this last Tuesday. But this is phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. I put a bookmark, so I'm not going to read the same thing. Anybody remember that I read this? All right. Let me see if there is anybody. Okay. Xita. Hi. Warrior Girl. I see you before. Hi, Carlos. Nancy from Denver. Hello, Nancy. Cita, Low, Spiritus Chocarreros. Do you know what does it mean, Spiritus Chocarreros? Slita. Alright, we are going to start the healing session. I know that I went over when I start late. For the new people, I get so enthusiastic with this because it's so interesting. For new people, you lay on bed. Let me do it again. You lay on bed, you make an intention. I am receiving an energy healing session from Carlos and I am connecting with a group. Just that intention makes you connect with this healing energy. And then you can make a healing intention. I don't want this back pain anymore. I don't want this depression, this emptiness in my heart. I don't want this broken heart, whatever. I don't want this animosity or anger against this person. They are all toxic energies, energy blockages, energy cords that are causing us trouble. And then make a deeper intention. I want the root cause to be removed. And today we are going to do a command prayer. I want you to repeat mentally after me, and goes like this. All the things toxic, dark, and evil that ever came to me uninvited before my birth, after my birth, and until now, all those things must leave me now and return to where they came from. They do not belong to me. The word evil means toxic or very toxic energies that makes our life difficult or miserable. And we are literally talking to these toxic energies. Some of them are conscious of their own individuality, are aware, and as energy they understand what we are saying. And we are stating very clear that we don't want any of those toxic energies in our energy body. I'm going to say 2 more times. You repeat mentally after me. All the things toxic, dark, and evil that ever came to me uninvited before my birth, after my birth, and until now, all those things must leave me now and return to where they came from. They do not belong to me. All the things toxic, dark, and evil that ever came to me uninvited before my birth, after my birth, and until now, all those things must leave me now and return to where they came from. They do not belong to me. those who are feeling the calmness of the energy working on you, just keep on that feeling rather than listening to my mumbling. I'm just going to show one thing. As some of you know, we are going to participate with Rosy in the Expo Vida Consciente. It's a Spanish part of the Conscious Life Expo. We have a presentation on Sunday, February 9th. Oh, they changed the time to 2:30 p.m. and then a workshop at 6 p.m. The subject is healing romantic traumatic relationships. For those who speak Spanish, I ask you to support us by pasting this link in your walls, sharing with friends. It will help us a lot. They are in my homepage, wall, whatever it's called. And I'm going to talk a little bit more. However, we are going to talk in depth of this subject. In the New Age, there are huge. Let me record this because it's very important. In this growing spirituality here in America, in the New Age, there are serious misconceptions. When you hear somebody to say God, Source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, when people say whatever you want to call it, my BS meter goes to the end of the scale. Because that means that that person is afraid or ashamed to say God. Why? Because there are toxic connotations with religions. Religions didn't do the best thing in this Western world. Christians, Catholic religions. There are many mistakes. However, the reason they're ashamed, they are afraid to say the word God, is because they don't know what God is. And then, instead of saying God, they call upon Source. Source is okay, but still is lame. And the word thing is they call the universe. What on earth is the universe? Whenever people were saying the universe, I heard these people saying the universe as a replacement of God. I felt bad. I felt an uncomfortable feeling in my chest, in my guts, in my heart. And I didn't know why. And I learned it a couple of months ago after our first Reiki at the beach with Rosy. I met this person and I was helping her with something, please, exactly, helping on something in her personal business. And she always talked about the universe. The universe didn't feel well to me. And then I realized that she is following this man who is a self-proclaimed healer, and he calls upon the universe. And now he's proud that there are some these spiritual beings, huge spiritual beings that some people can see it, participating in his so-called healing sessions. And I checked the energy of this man, of this person that I was helping. And I asked Rosie to check the energy of these two people, and they're very, very toxic. But toxic to the extreme, to call what we call evil entities. And then I realized that when this man was healed from a serious accident that he couldn't walk, he called upon the universe for help. And he got healed. And later on he knew that there are some spiritual beings helping him, but they are not from the light. They are very, very dark. Because when we call upon the universe, do you know what are you calling upon to? No, you have no idea. And in the universe, Jesus says, there are many mansions in my Father's home. What does it mean, many mansions? We human beings are not the only planet in this universe. There are many others. And there are other planets in the spirit world. And those planets are not from the same karmic level that we are. They are very low. They don't know what love is. They don't know what compassion is. So when they mix with us, they hurt us very badly, consciously or unconsciously. So all those people who replace God for the universe, calling for spiritual help, are connecting with these dark entities. And what we are going to talk, hopefully, with this healer, great friend of mine on Thursday, will really open your eyes. Because confirm what I found just by observation and checking the energies of these people. And all these people who call upon the universe, they are not healthy, spiritually, physically, mentally. I mingle with them. Their spirituality has no foundation, it's shaky. And they end up in dark practices without knowing. Anyway, I have 2 minutes. I would love to read a little bit more of this amazing book. It's fascinating for me. The divine way of healing was used by Jesus the Christ to heal possessed souls, or the lame or the blind. Only masters have sufficient divine will force to use the cosmic energy, if they had God's permission, to materialize renewed body parts in the affected individual, thereby curing disabled limbs or restoring sight instantaneously. The powerful energy transmitted by Christ-like souls into the brain of a psychological diseased individual has a similarly direct effect in burning out bad karma and entrench harmful mental tendencies. God-realized gurus like a Paramahansa Yogananda thereby free their receptive disciples from habits of ignorance that have haunted them for many incarnations. And here says, has similarly direct effect in burning out bad karma. When you follow the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, there is a meditation technique, Kriya Yoga. And in the Kriya Yoga ceremony, we do something. They light a fire, a real fire, in front of the altar of the temple. And we say, Om Swaha. That means we are casting out in that fire, is a symbolic ceremony, all the seeds of our bad karma. What does it mean? If on another life we were drinking too much, we were doing drugs, we were doing unhealthy things for our body, minds, and soul, the seed is there as an energy blockages. And if we hang out with people who smoke marijuana, are sleeping around, these seeds will germinate and make us do these evil things again, or harmful things for us and for others. So the practice of Kriya Yoga burn the bad seeds of the bad habits that we may have from other lives. And also the practice of Kriya Yoga is the highway to the infinite, because burns all the toxic energies and improves in a very fast way that connection with God. So if you are interested on your spiritual evolutions, practice the meditations that I teach. Irma, you didn't answer me. Did I teach you meditations when you took your Reiki 1 in Florida? I teach to my Reiki 1 students 4 meditations in Reiki 1 and 1 very powerful in Reiki Master. Most Reiki teachers do not teach meditation. Why? Because they don't meditate. And because of that, they are mediocre or not really deep healers. They don't know the deep levels of healing to remove these deep toxic energies that we all have. I don't have them because I have good friends healers. My friends, I need to go to Costco to buy my greens. I don't have any greens. And let me see in Facebook. Los espíritus chocarreros. Yes, that's the way we call it. Slita. Oh, Lita! I know who are you. We call it los espíritus chocarreros because of you. You brought that subject. All right, my friends. Chela Lopez. De nada, Chela. I see you tomorrow. Oh, I forgot. Tomorrow is Rosie's. Let me see if this is a. Yes, here we go. Tomorrow is Rosie's sessions at 6:30. I won't be able to be there after 7 because I have my Toastmaster club, but I'm going to watch it later. I see you on Thursday for my session at 6:30 in Spanish. No, 6:45. I got confused. I'm going to have a surprise for you on Thursday. Have a good night. Gracias, Lita, por tu sugerencia de espíritus chocarreros. Lo hemos incorporado con Rosy y nos morimos de la risa. Un abrazo grandote, Lita.